What's going on, guys? Evolution here, and welcome back to another DayZ Standalone Alpha confirmed features and discussion video. So today we're going to be talking a lot on the discussion and potential ideas that could be in the Standalone Alpha, or yeah, it's not actually confirmed, but some of them Dean has outlined about looking to do in the near future. So it's unlikely that any of these will be in the alpha, but we might find a little shock, and some of them maybe. So these are some ideas that I've come up with, and obviously the community and my subscribers have even spoke about on the videos. So we're going to start off with speaking about development. And you're probably wondering, like, what do you mean evolution? What do you mean by development? And I'm going to be talking about base development, and that should raise a few flags anyway. So my best way to relate this is probably if any of you have played Origins on DayZ. And Origins is much like DayZ, however, it's got added items like cement bags, cement mixers, reinforcing material, and you can go mining and get rocks. And basically, in Origins, if you gather the right materials, you can lay foundations to build. You can build garages, houses, forts, towns, and I'm sure there's loads of other buildings. I just can't think of them at the top of my head. So once you've laid your foundations, you'll have to wait 24 hours, and then you can actually expand and then develop like a level 1 house, and then you can build a level 2 house, and it expands from there. And obviously Rocket has spoke about he'd love to kinda include something like that in DayZ, where you could possibly build bases, maybe even underground bases as such. And obviously Origins has got that capability, so it's shown that it can be done. And I just thought I'd speak a bit about like the ideas that everyone's had. So a few ideas is like to run power, you could have like a petrol generator, or they may even include ways to use solar panels, maybe hydropower from water. What other ways of power sources could we have? Like wind turbines. It's all possibilities. And then you could possibly use that power to fuel a village with lights, maybe. And other machines, such as, what's a good example here? Possibly going back to kind of needing to cool items in the standalone, such as your blood bags. Obviously you're going to need a fridge or something. Them things are probably going to take power to run, or they could do. And I think actually that was one of the comments in the previous video, and we had a bit of a discussion about it. But someone suggested that you'll need a like generator to keep like a fridge going to keep it cool, and then obviously you can put your blood bags in there. However, you'll have to keep topping that up with a power. Probably most commonly it will be like petrol from a jerry can, but there are always possibilities. As I said, they can include energy, such as solar panel, etc. As I said earlier, and I just thought I'd kind of go over the subject that I reckon that in the development of DayZ, at some point, whether it's in the alpha or 6 months after being released and there's an update, I reckon there will be some sort of base building kind of feature. Maybe whether it's just building a little safe house as such, a little kind of tiny shack where you can store maybe a sleeping bag in it, or a chest. Well, not necessarily a chest as such, but somewhere to store a few items. Maybe like a little bag that you can place on the floor to store items. And maybe you can even kind of build water pumps and reservoir and water mills to obviously gather water. And also I know that it has been implemented in a mod that is due to be released soon for DayZ, the DayZ mod. And someone spoke about it, but there's actually one of the maps you can actually build greenhouses, and then you can plant seeds in for like wheat, and you can grow your own vegetables and food and stuff. And then there's just like an endless amount of stuff you could do from there. So obviously you'd have to gather water to obviously water the plants, but then you can actually grow your own food, and then you can live survival a lot more in the wilderness. So you could have a nice little base, and you could be gathering your own water supplies for thirst. You can have your own little farm going for food. And as I spoke about, again, it's a potential, but maybe you can obviously gather berries off plants and special ingredients, and you can actually kind of go to a campfire, mix them together and make some sort of like healing powder, or kind of recipes. And again, it pops up in a video in the comments. Sorry that I don't know any of your names, guys. I'm just referring to as someone. But someone said about like a cooking book, like a recipe book, and that they'd be quite rare, but you can kind of learn the recipes and go gather the maybe the plants or the obviously resources that you need from a village, and you can actually kind of find recipes for stuff. And maybe obviously it will have better attributes than just eating canned or obviously cooked meat. So canned food and cooked meat will just restore your HP obviously, but if you make this like recipes for, I don't know, I can't give it a good example, but it will have attributes like a regain health for 20 seconds and rehydrates your thirst, stuff like that. I reckon they'll have cool attributes. So this is just potential that I thought about, obviously, what could be in the DayZ standalone after a few updates, or possibly something like this in the alpha, hopefully. It's just a few things that I wanted to raise and talk about in this video. So I think I covered a bit of it. I said we spoke a bit about development of actually building bases and towns, and then we spoke a bit about kind of self-sustainable survival in the wilderness as such, where you won't need to actually go into towns as much. And I think that would be really useful because obviously at the moment if you need something you have to go into town. But if you could actually live out in the wilderness, that would give you, would be a whole new thing to do and experiment with, learn it and try it. And you'd probably come across a lot more bases out in the wilderness if they had a bit more importance than just storing gear in as such. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Drop a comment if you've got any suggestions what you think that might be in the standalone, or if you just want to let me know that you enjoyed the video or if you didn't enjoy the video. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe because it helps me, and obviously you guys can stay tuned for the latest DayZ standalone content. And once again, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.